So anyway, Matchbox, I just found that really frustratingly lazy and annoying. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess dumping another $20 a month for more internet because I was thinking, I mean, if it gets pinched, I've got so much headroom, it should be fine. But I mean, if it's going to pinch down to under 17, no matter how high I am, it doesn't matter how much upload bandwidth I have. If it's going to drop, it's not dropping by a certain amount, it's dropping to a certain level, it looks like. Um, well, hopefully this dynamic frame thing works, although I don't know what it's going to look like on your end. I don't know if it's going to like slow down the if it's going to stutter or slow, or I don't know what it'll look like from your end. Oh well, because I was thinking, wait, I was well, my department at work, uh entire office so far as I'm aware, we're lucky enough to get a bit of a cost of living bump. I'm like, okay, I can afford an extra $20 a month for more bandwidth. And sadly, that alone is clearly not the problem. And it's so frustrating because this has only started becoming a problem in like the last, what, 2 months? I didn't change anything, so. Do not like feeling helpless. Not a good feeling. All right. So, needs to be at the fifty upload. Spectrum, I have as much as Spectrum will give me. I'm on their gigabit plan, which is the highest plan they have, which is close to a gig down and 40 up. And I've been running a bunch of speed tests, and I am averaging about 900 down and 40 up. But as soon as my frames dropped, I did a speed test and it was like down around 10. So, yeah, if I guess just OBS just does not handle that very well. Just slight dips, even momentarily. It's like, oh, can't draw the frame. We're done. We're crashing. So maybe this little dynamic adjustment thing will work for network congestion. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I can't get a 50 upload. I've got as good of internet as I can possibly get from Spectrum here. Um, so we do what we can. All right. So I want to talk a bit about the MCU movies because I was thinking about them today because I do see some people looking at the slate of Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. If you can only switch off the worst ISP in the U.S., that's kind of the. I was doing some online research and they're like, hey, you can try a different ISP. I'm like, no, I can't. Most people cannot. Most people have one option, the one where you live. There is no competition. It's the one of it's like I I didn't choose Spectrum. Spectrum is the one that's available here. It's like I didn't choose San Diego Gas and Electric. That's the one that's available here. Uh, so oh well. Anyway, so MCU. I'm a fan of the broadly a fan of the MCU movies, and I've seen a few people opine that the more modern MCU movies are just not as good as Phase One, and it's lost the sauce, so to speak. And I don't agree with that. I think the MCU's batting average has remained remarkably consistent. For example, if you look at the movies from Phase 1, and of course this is completely all subjective, this is just my opinion on silly little superhero movies. We had Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, the First Avengers, and The Avengers. Uh, Iron Man, I think, is a solidly good film. The Incredible Hulk, I think, is okay. Entertaining, but as a film, it's okay. Iron Man 2, same, it's okay. Thor, same, it's okay. Captain America, the First Avenger, pretty good. The Avengers, really good. So that's the first six. Uh, they're all definitely watchable. They're all definitely entertaining, but I'd really only call half of them good. The other three are okay. Not a terrible batting average, but not like, oh my god, it's just banger after banger. Whereas I look at the most recent six MCU movies, which would be Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, Captain America Brave New World, Deadpool and Wolverines, The Marvels, and Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So again, subjective, but in my humble opinion, Fantastic Four was good. Thunderbolts was pretty great. Captain America Brave New World was bad. Not unwatchable, but just an absolute damn mess of a movie. Um, it feels like a movie that was they didn't know what they wanted to do with and couldn't figure it out during production, and it was just kind of torn apart and put back together several times. Uh, it's got the Hulk in it, well, the Red Hulk in it, and he punches stuff, which is fun, but not a very good movie. I mean, Giancarlo Esposito's in the film, and the guy exudes cool, but he has nothing to do in the movie. He's still cool because it's Giancarlo Esposito, but boy, Sidewinder's underused in that movie. Deadpool and Wolverine, which is pandering as hell, but it's pandering directly to me, so I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. The Marvels, which is okay. It's got a lot of really funny stuff. That damn Flurkin sequence never fails to have me rolling. And they go to a planet where the language is music, and I love that. I'm still wondering what happened with the planet. Did everybody die? The movie seems to kind of forget about the entire planet. But yeah, Marvel's is okay. And then Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is really good, I thought. So, you know, again, we've got, for me anyway, about the same batting average. Half of them are pretty good, half of them are okay. And that's, looking over the MCU movies, that's been pretty consistent, I think. Now, of course, everyone has different opinions. These are completely subjective. But for me, the MCU movies haven't gotten worse. They haven't really gotten better. They're just kind of there. I think what might be a factor in some people anyway is Ghostbusters is my favorite movie. The movie came out in 1984. I did not see it in the theater because I was 4 years old at the time. But I was at least aware of it as early as 5 years old, I remember. So I probably saw it and probably rented it or something as early as like 5 or 6. But I always loved the movie. But I loved the movie as a child for very different reasons as I do now. When I was a young child, I loved Ghostbusters because it had fun ghosts in it, and guys in cool jumpsuits and technology strapped to their back, shooting lasers at the awesome ghosts. That's why I liked Ghostbusters when I was 7. More recent, in later life, as I became an adult, I still love Ghostbusters, but I love it for different reasons. I still think the ghosts and shooting lasers at them are really cool, but um, but I like the movie more for the humor and the story and the themes and the character work and the comedy. I still think the ghosts and lasers are cool, but as a small child, my appreciation and like for Ghostbusters was pretty shallow. Understandable being, 7 or however old I was. But you know, my point is I liked the movie. My enjoyment of the movie was very different when I was a child. Um, so I imagine if the MCU movies started, Iron Man came out in 2008, I think. Well, actually, I have it in front of me. I could just look. 2008, yeah. So if you were 8 years old when Iron Man came out, 8 to 12 years old, that movie's probably awesome. You probably loved it. But now that you're pushing 30, you probably still like Iron Man, but you probably like it in a different way. So I think for people who were kids when the MCU started and are adults now, I think for some, it's possible that what they're seeing is not the quality of the movies changing, but their taste in film changing as they move from childhood to adulthood. Of course, you don't like the MCU movies like you did when you were a child. You're an adult now. Your tastes have changed. The movies broadly have not. They've stayed pretty much the same. You grew up. Me, I was well into adulthood in 2008. I was pushing 30 in 2008. I was an adult when the MCU started. So the way I liked Iron Man when I was 28 is the same way I like, pretty much the same way I like Iron Man now that I'm 46. So the movies haven't changed, and I haven't changed much in 18 years either. So, which is not to discount anyone who genuinely just doesn't like the majority of the recent crop of MCU movies. Again, completely subjective opinion, but I found it kind of interesting to think about. I enjoy stuff. There's movies I enjoyed when I was a kid that I don't like now, and there's movies I didn't like as a kid that I do like now, and movies that I enjoyed as a kid but I enjoy now. I just enjoy them in a different way. And I have to wonder if, for many fans who aren't really into the current crop of MCU movies, if it's a matter of I just don't enjoy them the same way I did when I was a kid. And it's like, well, yeah. But that's the thing, is the movies didn't change. You did. You grew up. Your tastes change. There's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make you bad. It doesn't make the movies bad either. It doesn't make them good. My opinion is, as someone who's been an adult throughout the entire run of the MCU movies, is the MCU movies are broadly okay. They're pretty consistently solid, like B minus movies. Occasionally you have a couple that are like A's. Like there's what, 35 plus of them. There's a solid handful that I'd say these are really good, solid movies. Most of them are just fine. Like Obsession. It's fine. There's a lot of great stuff in them. They're fun. They're fine. They're solid B movies. A couple of them are weaker than others. The one I mentioned, the one with Red Hulk, Captain America: Brave New World. I think that one's more of a mess just because that one was when did that come out? Let's see. 2005, 25 rather. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened with that movie, but it really comes across as something that they could not decide what the hell they wanted to do with it. I mean, there's so many scenes that are obvious. Someone call Anthony Mackie. We have to get him over here on a green screen to reshoot some shit. There's so many scenes. It's like, I know this is a set because this actor's been standing on it in a few shots. He's screened in now. What did you reshoot? What did you change again? Again, not to completely shit on Captain America: Brave New World. There's a lot of stuff in the movie I genuinely like, but whoo, doggy, that one does not work as a film. But I mean, it's got a Hulk in it, so it can't be too bad. C minus. That one's riding the line of D, but Anthony Mackie's a charismatic dude. Giancarlo Esposito's in it. That little short gal who plays the I forget what character it is, but the guy who plays Isaiah Bradley's wonderful. There's a lot of really great things in the movie. It just does not work as a movie. So I think for me, it kind of escapes being a D film. I'm gonna give you a C minus. uh, but anyway, that's my thoughts on the matter. Let's see. Phase 2 is where you should compare. It's unfair to compare to Phase 1. Okay, sure. I don't know why that would be, but sure. The way the Wikipedia page is splitting it out, one, two, three, four, we've got 6 movies again. Iron Man 3, Thor the Dark World, Captain America Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Age of Ultron, and Ant-Man. Okay, so my completely subjective opinions. Iron Man 3 is a weird one for me because it's like incredibly dumb, but a good movie. Like there's so much stuff in this movie. It's like, that's just really dumb. I'm like, no, that wouldn't work at all. It's like, well, no, that doesn't, what? No. There's a lot of, it's like one of the dumbest movies in the franchise, as in like there's individual elements. I'm like, that's dumb. But I really liked Iron Man 3. I know a lot of people really hated the reveal of Trevor Slattery. I loved that. I guess I'm just not precious enough about Iron Man and the Mandarin because I thought that take was hilarious. And we've gotten more Trevor Slattery. He showed up in Shang-Chi. He was in the Wonder Man show, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. So Iron Man 3, despite having a lot of really dumb stuff in it, I would say that's a solid movie. I really liked Iron Man 3. Thor the Dark World, not great. It's not, it doesn't work. It's not very good. Again, there's a lot of fun stuff in it, but yeah, I'd probably say Thor Dark World is like C plus. I don't think I could even get a B minus out of it. I think it's in the C tier. Winter Soldier, really good. I'd say that's an A. Guardians of the Galaxy is really good. I'd say that's an A. Age of Ultron, messy as shit, but a lot of fun, so I'd call that a B. Ant-Man, it's a lot of fun. It's not great, but it's B minus, somewhere around there. So what do we? So Iron Man 3, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the. So we've got 3 really solid ones and 3 okay ones. For me, pretty much the same as Phase 1. So, I mean, for me, the last Phase 5 and part of 6. I'm actually looking at the last 6 films rather than exclusively how it's delineated into phases here. But, the last 6 films have like one more because I said, Fantastic Four good, Thunderbolts good, Captain America not good, Wolverine and Deadpool good, Marvel's okay, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 good. I think that's a slightly higher batting average than Phase 1 and 2, but like not by that much. So anyway, that's my take on it. Phase 1 has 3 of the best superhero films ever made. I would say Iron Man, Captain America, and the Avengers. I would agree those are up there. Brian says, definitely my tastes are changing, but I was an adult the whole way through. I think it's more than I got enough of it and wanted something different. I do think that one thing I admire about the MCU movies is something it does, but I wish it did a bit more. And that is doing superhero films as different genres. And they do that a little bit. And some of the most successful ones are the ones that really take the largest step outside of the stereotypical superhero mold. Like Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is a very highly regarded entry in the MCU. And it feels very different genre-wise than the rest. It feels like a political thriller right? And that's one of the things that I think it's also just pretty solid movie. Um, I think it's one of the things that really works about that film is it doesn't feel like, oh, it's just a superhero movie. It's more of a, not that it's not a superhero movie, but it's more of a political thriller that has superheroes. And I think they, I would like to see them lean a bit harder on that. Like, here's an outright comedy with superheroes. Here's a western with superheroes. Here's a martial arts movie with superheroes. They did that a little bit with Shang-Chi, but I think they could have done more. Here's a Sam Raimi movie with superheroes with Multiverse of Madness. Again, I think they could have gone further into whatever genre. I think they're dipping their foot in the waters of what I'd really like to see them try to do, and I want them to cannonball in. Um, so it's one of the reasons I think Thunderbolts worked so well for me. Um, is it's a very different film from a lot of most of the other movies. It's a meditation on depression. It, not a very subtle one either. It's one of the most uh interesting literal depictions of depression that I've seen in a while, and it's a superhero movie. Um I also love the fact that there's no giant sky laser at at the end of the movie with a bunch of CG stunt people punching each other in a CG location with a giant sky laser portal thing. Way too many of the movies end like that. This one kind of ends group hug. That's a bit reductive, but very very palate cleansing, very refreshing. I like that. Uh, let's see. DTDTD. Lee, hello. Jared's not really fond of most modern Disney. They haven't. Their focus is on things that I don't really care about, um, like like live action remakes of cartoons that aren't even that old. Someone's enjoying them. I mean, they make $1 billion. Like Lilo and Stitch made $1 billion, but I'm like, I saw Lilo and Stitch. I liked it just fine. I I just have no desire to see it in live action. I the only I actually commented on this a while ago. I I'm like, son of a gun. I have not seen any of the live action remakes of the Disney films. I didn't see the Cruella movie, although that's not really a remake of 101 Dalmatians. It's a origin story. But I didn't see the new Moana movie. I didn't see the Jungle Book. I didn't see. The only ones I've seen are the two Maleficent movies, which I thought were very solid attempts. I like what they were trying to do. I think the first movie was a lot more successful than the second. I thought the second one was, oh boy, absolute mess. Um, I think the well, we haven't had a Star Wars movie in when was Rise of Skywalker? Was that like 2019? Oh shit! We just had Grogu and the Mandalorian or whatever it was called, which I look forward to seeing once it's on Disney Plus. Um, although I have no idea if that was originally supposed to be like a Disney Plus project and they just like stuffed it together into a movie. I don't know. Haven't seen it. Um, but the most of the Disney projects have not entirely worked for me. Like they've been hit and miss like in and of themselves. Like I've liked a lot of the concepts, but like the execution would fall flat for me. Like I like what you're trying to do here. I don't think it's working. And I'll say this. I don't think Dave Filoni is a very good storyteller. I've seen his name in the credits of a lot of the individual episodes of the various Star Wars shows. He's directed several of them, he's written several of them. I'm pretty convinced he's just not a very good storyteller. That's okay, neither am I. But I will give him this. Unlike the people behind the Matchbox movie, I believe that Dave Filoni likes Star Wars. He may not like it in the way that I do. In fact, I'm pretty sure he doesn't. I think he likes Star Wars in a very different way than I do. I think the stuff he likes about it is not the stuff I'm as interested in, but I don't doubt for a moment that he actually likes Star Wars. There is a passion there. One that I'm perceiving anyway. I don't get the sense that it's completely cynical and it's just like, oh, just dump any old laser sword shit there. I get the sense that he actually is trying and cares and is enthusiastic about what he's doing. To a lesser extent, same thing with Jon Favreau. I think he's a better storyteller. I still don't think he's very good, but I get the sense that both of them actually care about it. And that's I still don't think many of the Star Wars shows have been entire successes. Let me think about it. Have any of the Star Wars shows have I well, I think the first season of Mandalorian was pretty solid. I think the second season was pretty okay also. Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Acolyte, Skeleton, not Skeleton Key, Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew was pretty decent. This is mostly okay. Oh, Obi-Wan. There was another one. That one didn't work either. That was like, I liked half of it, and half of it I really didn't like. So yeah, Star Wars has been a super mixed bag, which kind of makes it really frustrating. You know, that's a tough thing about television shows, is it's like, well, half of it's good, yeah, but that means the other half is not. So yeah, I don't know. It looks like from the previews, it looks like there's a bunch of goofy puppets in the Grogu and Mandalorian movie, so I'm sure I'll at least enjoy that. Like in Skeleton Crew, there's like this giant crab mech monster thing that um looks like it might be stop motion. I mean, a lot of the Baby Yoda puppet is CG. A lot of it's puppetry, but a lot of it's CG. But the CG is meant to look like a puppet. It's animated like it's a puppet, which I love. I love that conceit. So it's possible that that big trash monster thing was actually CG, but it was CG in a way that made it look like old school stop motion animation. And what can I say? I'm old. It tickles my nostalgia bones. I enjoyed that. I thought that was fun. But yeah, I'll tell you, sometimes I think the current owners of the IP are trying to beat my love of Star Wars out of me. And they've come close several times, but I'm hanging on, man. Through all the disappointments, I still retain my love for Star Wars. I try to focus on the stuff I like, you know? Like, The Acolyte, there's another really frustrating one. I really liked what they were going for. I liked what they were trying to do. But, execution? Nah, unfortunately, no. And, man, I was on I was kind of, like, figuratively gnawing my nails throughout that, was it 6 episodes or whatever it is? Because I was like, oh man, this is such a good idea. If they stick the landing, this is gonna be really good. But it's weird because it's like, I can't tell if this show is any good until we get to the ending. Like, how good the show is really depends on them sticking the landing. If they stick the landing, this is going to be a great show. They didn't stick the landing. It's a shame. So, while there's a lot of stuff I liked about Acolyte, nope. Oh, so I am. So what is the stream doing? Because I just saw it drop down to 0. Did it pause? Did it judder? Did it? Curious to know what the stream's doing, but it didn't disconnect. So I'm wondering if it's buffering or. Let's see if I can. Where's my mouse? Well, I can't tell if I'm frozen or if refresh. No, it's still going. Who the hell knows? I think I am at the whims of the network gods. Let's see. That Chaos says Winter Soldier is the best of the MCU. Definitely up there. It's kind of hard for me to think about it because it's like, is it the best? You know, it's like I categorize films. It's like what is my favorite is not necessarily the best. So sometimes I have to really think about that. Catwoe. Hello, Catwoe. Hey, Andrew. I also thought the MCU movies were meh overall, but I remember having fun with Thor Ragnarok. I like Thor Ragnarok. I think that movie's hilarious. Winter Soldier, says Chaos, is a political thriller with superheroes in it. Agreed. Brian says, arguably She-Hulk is an outright comedy with superheroes. Yes. Also, same thing with the Deadpool and Wolverine and Deadpool movies. Also, She-Hulk. Also breaks the fourth wall. Also, an episodic legal thriller with an A and B story, which is a format we don't really, if ever, see with any of the MCU shows. I wanted them to. I really would have liked them to lean into that a bit more. With like, you know, case of the week kind of a thing. But overall, I was pretty happy with the She-Hulk show. It's got some. It you know, it has oh God, the hell is her name? Natalie Lindsay. What is her name? Patty Guggenheim. What's her character? Cynthia. Oh shit. What the hell is her name? Wong's new best friend. Oh, how am I forgetting her name? She spells it weird. With a Y, but not where you think. Wait. How can I remember the actor's name and not the character? Anyway, we got that character out of it. So, but that's a good example. She-Hulk, I thought was broadly a success, but I really would have liked them to lean more into, you know, a case of the week legal thriller / comedy kind of a show. Whereas it just kind of devolved into a full connected story. Although I thought the end was kind of fun. Leaned very supported very heavily, of course, by just a great lead performance from Tatiana. It's the Jesus. I am rough with names right now. Madison. Thank you, Brian. Yes. Let's see. They are on Toy Story 5 already. Yeah, I looked at that and went, I mean, you know, I said the same thing about Toy Story 4, and Toy Story 4 was, it's okay. I mean, it's fine. Toy Story 4 is a solid film. And my sister said, you know what, Toy Story 5, it was good. I'm like, okay, I'll see it. Let's see. Brian says, live action remakes can be done well. One Piece is a great example. Not a fan of the source, so I didn't watch the show. Largely because it does a lot to fix the issues with the original series while maintaining the spirit. Although I did see like the first episode of Cowboy Bebop. didn't care for the source material. I didn't think the show was very good. Although I will say that the Yu Yu Hakusho live action adaptation was a lot better than I was expecting. But the show also feels like they found out at episode 3 that they only have 5 episodes, and they're like, wait, what? We only have 5 episodes? We're going all the way through the Dark Tournament. How do we have only 5? Oh shit, we're gonna have to speed run like the next 60 episodes of the cartoon. Anyway, Yu Yu Hakusho was a lot better than I expected it to be. Let's see. Still don't know why you don't like the Clone Wars. Probably because I haven't. I imagine you mean the cartoon. Probably because I haven't seen it. I saw the Gendy Tartakovsky, the really short ones, the 2D animated ones that were only like 3 minutes long. I saw those and I thought they were just like nothing burgers. I mean, they're fine. They didn't like make me mad or anything. But I never saw the. I've never seen any of the 3D show. Never seen Resistance, Bad Batch. I haven't seen any of it, so no idea. I think the Clone Wars movies episode 2 is bad. Saw that in the theater. Let's see. New Jedi Order series of books killed my love of Star Wars. Okay. Last Jedi. I think Last Jedi is one of the best films in the of the films. I think Rise of Skywalker is possibly the worst movie, even worse than the prequels. But it's got characters and actors that I like, so that seems to like I like Rey and Finn and Poe and all those characters, so that kind of elevates it slightly above the prequels. Although I think the prequels might actually, as bad as they are, I think they might actually be better movies than Rise of Skywalker, because that movie's just a garbage fire. Lee says, I know Star Wars seemed better when Disney didn't own it. I mean, I wouldn't say that, because prior to Disney was episodes 4, 5, and 6, which are pretty darn good, and episodes 1, 2, and 3, which are pretty darn bad. So not a great track record. Whereas Disney, with the movies anyway, we've got, in my opinion anyway, one pretty good movie, although it's completely derivative of the originals, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, which I have issues with a few, with some elements here and there, but overall I think it's a great film. And one of the probably the worst movie of the franchise. Solo is okay, and Rogue One is not good. So call that a wash, I guess. I don't know. And then you've got a bunch of TV shows that are varying levels of okay. So I don't know. I think George Lucas is a shit storyteller. I think when he works with other people, I think he can do some great stuff. I think when he's creatively in charge, he's a bad storyteller. And I think that really comes across in episodes 1, 2, and 3. Because they're just really just poorly told stories. To me, anyway. It's all subjective, of course. Nothing noticeable on this end. Well, that's good. Hasn't been a buffer since the change. Oh, well, that's good. Maybe this. I wonder if I'm like if it's like slowing down and you're like a few more seconds behind than you otherwise would be. Worst live action adaptation I've seen is Dragon Ball Evolution. I didn't see it, and I think Dragon Ball Z is like the worst anime ever, so I don't know if I could even judge that one. Lee says people would disagree with people that think the live action Mario movie is the worst. It's weird. I think the live action Mario movie is more just bafflingly odd than it is outright bad. It's not good, but I don't think it's, I mean, it's a bad Mario movie, but it's just kind of a, if you forget about the brand, it's like an okay early 90s rental, you know. um it's a bafflingly odd film. It's very weird. I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's definitely a bad Mario movie. I mean, even, and I was like, when did it came out? Like 91 or something like that? Pardon me. When was the Mario movie? Let's see. This is important. Oh, 93. Okay, that was pretty close. So I was 13, and even my jaded, snotty little newly teenage self was looking at this movie going like, well, that's weird. Did did no one working on this movie ever like see the game, let alone play it? Like at 13, I was like, wow, this movie feels like it was made by people who have like who had like who had never seen or played Mario before, but had it like described by a parent who was like half paying attention while their child was playing it. Oh yeah, Mario, sure, yeah, my kid plays that. It's about this little I don't know, little plumber dude. Um and he steps on mushrooms and there's like a lizard that breathes fire at one point. There's some turtles and stuff. There's a there's a dinosaur and little walking bombs on feet, right? And they're like, yeah, yeah, okay. I'm sure we don't need anything more specific than that. Kids are stupid. They'll never know the difference. We could get the color of Yoshi wrong. I remember in 1998, I think. I was at a Walmart or Toys R Us back when those were a thing. And um the new Godzilla movie was coming out, and Godzilla had a redesign for that movie, had a new look, and I saw a kid in a toy store, and he was looking at the Godzilla toy, the new '98 movie Godzilla toy, and I was like, "Oh, cool, dinosaur!" And I looked at this kid, and this kid's probably like, I don't know, 6. I'm very bad at judging kids' age, but very young child. And he's looking at this cool dinosaur toy. And I said, do you know who that is? And he went, ah, stranger, help! And he started blowing this rape whistle. No, that didn't happen. I'm kidding. He looked at me and he said, no. And I said, that's Godzilla. And he looked at this toy, and it was, especially with him holding it, it was real big, and he's like, he's considering this toy, this Godzilla toy, and he looks at it, and then he cranes his head back up to me, and looks at me, like I'm the dumbest motherfucker on earth. And he says, with palpable disgust, no, it's not. Even this small child knew that that wasn't Godzilla, you know? So I think you could, I think liberty, you can, creative liberties can be taken, but I think you can get, I think it's possible to get so far away from the source that it's literally unrecognizable. That I think, kids know what Godzilla looks like. If your design is so radically different that a child looks at you like you're the dumbest asshole on earth and is palpably disgusted with your ignorance, I think you may have taken one too many creative liberties with the design. Man, I'm not even getting to the topic. That's the funny thing. I yammer so much that I don't actually get to the the things I plan on talking about and title my podcasts about. Let's see, what are we talking about? That's where we differ. Prequels are awesome, the sequels are trash, and Rogue One is also awesome. Huh. Yeah, we definitely do differ there, Jared. That's interesting. Yeah, I think to be clear, I don't think the prequels are not entertaining. I just think they're bad movies. To be clear, I don't I've watched and enjoyed the prequels. There are things I really like about them. I just think they're bad movies. Um, Rogue One also, I think, and now that's now a lot of people think the prequels suck, but I find that most people think Rogue One is really good. I don't. I think Rogue One is actually bad, like really bad, like pretty far down the Star Wars film totem pole for me. Still a very entertaining, watchable movie, but just a bad movie. Although I haven't seen it since it came out, like whenever the hell it came out, I don't know, 2016, 17, somewhere in there. Actually, I have IMDb open in front of me. Let's see. Rogue One. Rogue One. Did I spell it that poorly? No, I spelled it exactly correct. And the first movie to come up is OSS 117 From Africa with Love, followed by 13 Notes in Red, followed by some French film that I'm not going to even try to pronounce, followed by Signpost to Freedom, the 1953 Baton Rouge bus boycott, followed by that's also French, and I don't know what that says, followed by Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. IMDb, what the biscuits? What what is your search box doing? Anyway, 2016. Okay, 2016. I have not seen Rogue One since the theater in 2016, so it's been a decade, so I would struggle to articulate why I think the movie is bad. I could come up with a couple tangible details, but I'd have to watch it again to really explain why I think the film doesn't work as a movie, although it is entertaining. Um, Chaos says George Lucas is a great storyteller in terms of big picture. That I agree with. I think he's a great idea guy, great at concepts. I think he struggles. I think he's a bad writer and director. I think he struggles in like the storytelling. I don't think he's a good writer. I think he's great at ideas and concepts and stuff like that. I think he's got a good eye for like design, but I think I should probably read your entire comment instead of just commenting on like your first couple words. Chaos says Lucas is a great storyteller in terms of big picture, but he needs someone to fine tune it, especially with the script. So yeah, pretty much what I was saying. Lee says, well, since it's been that long ago, he's going to be an adult by now. I wonder if he'll remember that. I don't remember what we're talking about. So let me talk about the one thing I wanted to talk about a little bit. Obsession. I have seen in a couple of different places, social media feeds, videos on YouTube, that kind of a thing. People taking a critical eye to the film Obsession, which I talked about last week and I thought was fine. Not bad, I thought it was fine. I liked it just fine. But what I found kind of interesting is I'm seeing a lot of people having some real surface level takes of the film Obsession. I'm seeing a lot of like these heavy discussions about theme and the secret hidden meaning of what's actually happening and what we should actually take away from the various characters. And it's like the most adorably surface level read. Like, like for example, I'm seeing a lot of discussion about like, if you really pay attention to the movie, you might have to watch it a couple of times, but if you think about it, that dude, not entirely sympathetic. Yeah. Yeah, the lead dude in Obsession, not the greatest dude. It's pretty subtle. You have to have a keen eye and years of film theory under your belt to really pick out the substance of the thematic intent of this film. But you'll get there. And that's what we're having hosting these discussions for. So we can come to the conclusion that the hero is maybe not entirely heroic. And you know what? I bring this up not to denigrate or to crap on anybody for their very surface level. I mean, that's not subtext. That's that's text. That's just the text. That is a surface level read. But you know what? They're not wrong. And uh, I'm happy that they watched the movie, actually watched the movie, and thought about it. Watched it and then thought about what they watched, and then formed an opinion based on what actually happens in the movie. You know what? It's damning with faint praise, I suppose, but you don't see that enough on like social media and such. So, you know, we don't all start out as like Leonard Maltin or Roger Ebert or any you know well credentialed and established film critics. Media literacy has to start somewhere, and yeah, it starts with the text. Very surface level reads. Good guy, bad guy. Here's what happens in the movie. That's not a bad thing. That's a great place to start. So I'm certainly not complaining about that. I find it really adorable, and I find it really encouraging. Because too many people I see like aren't engaging with uh the entertainment that they're watching or reading or playing or listening to or interacting with in whatever regard. I I mean, it's something very simple. Hey, I watched this movie and I was thinking about it. The bad guy was bad. Y- yes, yeah, yeah. That is a solid, well evidenced takeaway. I think that is a very reasonable conclusion you can draw based on what happens in the film. Um, and I hope I'm not coming off as like smarmy and condescending. I genuinely found it adorable, yes, but also kind of encouraging to see that there are a number of people in different places across ye old internet where people are actually watching and thinking about the media that they engage with. I that's and you know what? That's great to see. And I think it's one of the things that when I was little, uh, I used to not give a hoot about anything further than the surface level read of any piece of media, which I think most kids don't. Um, and I think it's probably silly to expect them to. Um, so maybe we shouldn't, right? You know, the subtext is going to be there for them when they're ready to scratch the surface and dig a little bit deeper. You know, I didn't get into, like I said about Ghostbusters. When I was little, I only cared about the people shooting the cool looking dude shooting lasers at ghosts. Yeah, and that's a perfectly valid way to enjoy the film, especially when you're 7. Um, but as I got older and had a more mature and considered uh method of considering the media I was enjoying, I found different additional ways to enjoy things. For example, when I'm talking about the prequel Star Wars prequels, I don't think they're good movies, but I can still enjoy them if only on a surface level. There's cool monsters and aliens and stuff in. There's laser sword fights and there's spaceships that go vroom and shoot lasers at each other. There's a lot of cool shit to look at. It's a fun popcorn movie. I still think it's a bad movie. I think if I had seen the prequels when I was young, um, but I was when did episode one? I think that was 99, right? I was 19 when that film came out. Yeah, I think it was 99, '02, and '05. I think it was, they were 3 years apart. Sounds right. Um, so yeah, I was, just coming out of my teens, young 20s. I think if I was like 10 years old, um, I think I would have loved them for the ways that I actually enjoy them as an adult. Lasers and aliens and spaceships and stuff. Um, but really, I'm just happy to see that there are a bunch of folks uh, actually watching or reading or actually paying attention to the media they enjoy and thinking about it. And to be clear, I'm not bothered by people who come away with different takes or feelings or opinions about the movies. That, for example, I just recorded a movie mandates with my sister the other night, and she and I usually see pretty eye to eye on most movies. But last Thursday when we recorded it, we had pretty different takes on this movie, which is always a really interesting discussion. She enjoyed the movie a lot more than I did. But what was funny is her main criticism of the movie, before I even got to what I thought about the movie, her main criticism of the movie, she articulated her main criticism of the movie, and I was like, that's exactly why the movie is not working for me. So it's a really fun discussion because we saw the same movie, right? We agree about what happened in the movie, but we have different perspectives on how and why we enjoyed or did not enjoy the movie. She and I went to see Colossal, something like that. It's a weird movie about this gal. Whenever she stands in a park in wherever the hell in America she lives, some giant monster in South Korea manifests and starts walking around mirroring her actions. So every time she walks across this playground, some kaiju manifests in South Korea and walks across Seoul. Weird movie. Very lauded movie. Like people love this film. She and I hated it. She and I did not like this movie at all. Um, like we disliked this movie so much that we could both feel the energy from the other wanting to just leave the theater. But we got home and we spent like the next hour reading glowing reviews of the movie we just saw. And the interesting thing is we didn't disagree with anyone's take on the movie. They're like, the movie is about this, and it's a commentary on this, and it's a dramatization of this specific relationship between these, blah, 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 blah. And we're like, yes, absolutely, yes, that's exactly what it is. We totally agree. We just didn't like it. It was so funny. We spent an hour reading all these glowing reviews, and it's like, we agreed with every single point that everyone was making about the movie, except liking it. And it's so fascinating when it's like, what are you seeing that we're not seeing? And sometimes it's nothing. We all saw the same thing. It's just like didn't work for us for whatever reason. And I find those discussions, personally, I find those discussions a lot of fun. Um, and I love reading reviews of media that don't share my opinion, my takeaway, because sometimes I can't because I enjoy the alternate perspective. I enjoy uh, the opportunity to look at something in a new way that I hadn't uh, previously considered. I can't recall hearing a new perspective about a movie or a song or a book or something, and then actually changing how much I enjoyed it. Like I don't remember, I feel X about movie, but after hearing this perspective, I now feel Y about movie, wherever that is in relation to X. I don't think that's ever like changed how I felt about something, but at least from like an emotional reaction to how much I enjoyed it, but it can sometimes change how I appreciate something at least. So anyway, uh, media studies, film criticism, that kind of thing, that can be fun. Might not be your bag, but I like it. I think it's fun. Anyway, let's see. Let's wrap up the chat, and then I already ate dinner. Shoot, man, that means I have to sit here for like 11 hours until it's time to eat breakfast. That's gonna be a long wait. Oh well. Let's see. Jared says, I was 5 when episode 2 came out, but that's why I like it more than I should. There you go. I think I would probably, yeah, if I was very young when the prequels came out, I would probably, I would probably, I would probably hold a similar opinion on the quality of the films as I do now, but I would probably be more have a much greater nostalgic fondness for them. I'm trying to think if I have an example of a movie that I just really adored when I was a kid, and while I have some nostalgic fondness for today, I think is just kind of a dog shit film. Um, I have to think about it. I'm sure there are some. Or would I really be willing to go to bat for like Transformers the movie? No, Transformers the movie is really good, actually. you know? I don't know. I actually own 2 copies of Transformers the movie, um, because G1 was a big part of my childhood. I saw it in the theater when I was 7 years old. And Optimus Prime died. Well, like all of the G1, a huge chunk of the G1 cast died. Like I'd never seen anything like that before. It's like, they, but they get shot all the time. How come they just all died? Like, oh no. Um, Dragon Quest. Not that Dragon Quest is bad, obviously. Yeah. Like how you now say Trails is better than Dragon Quest, but Dragon Warrior is your Dragon Warrior slash DQ is still my favorite. Yeah, yeah, close to what I'm talking about. Dragon Quest will probably always be my favorite RPG series, but I'm comfortable stating that it's not the best. I'm only halfway through the Trails series, but I would say that the Trails series is a better RPG series than the Dragon Quest ones. Um, Still my favorite, but like there's movies better than Ghostbusters. Still my favorite though. Anyway, I was gonna talk about a comment that was left on one of my movie mandates video from someone who is either a bot, a troll, or a very pathetic loser. But maybe we'll save that for next week. So, all right. I am going to, I guess, just wait for breakfast because I already ate dinner, and I mean, I'm an adult. I could just decide to eat again. Hmm. Okay. Well, that's it out of me. thanks for hanging out. Come back tomorrow and we'll play some Cold Steel 3. Until then, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.